Coming up on MHS1,
we take a look at senior release,
we go golfing,
and we meet up with the Clanks. And it's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. I'm Reggie Ann Payton.
And I'm Noe Garcia, and you're watching MHS1.
Some seniors have the privilege of having senior release. Here's Hannah, Mallory, and Duncan with more on the story.
Contrary to popular belief, senior release will still be offered next year, although incoming seniors will now be required to complete an application process.
Depending on what their intent is, and that's what the application process is for, we want to evaluate what is your plan, what is your intent. If it's just, hey, I want to go hang out at the beach club earlier in the afternoon than we already get out, you're probably not going to be approved.
Upcoming seniors should evaluate their motives behind taking senior release and make sure they meet all their requirements.
The function of it is it does help us give flexibility. Some students are already starting their college transcript, so they're taking college classes at Collin College or other places, and that allows them to manage their day a little better.
I actually did it to save my GPA because I didn't want to take any more AP classes, but I didn't want to take anything that would bring my GPA down. Just on top of the fact that I'm a senior and I think I have that privilege.
The requirements or qualifications are that you have to be have already passed exit level tax, or in the future exit star. You have to have written parental approval, and then you have to go through an application process where the counseling staff and assistant principals evaluate your graduation plan to make sure you are on pace for graduation.
Senior release has had an effect on senior enrollment in a variety of elective classes.
AP Art has been offered 7th period for several years, and several students would opt out of AP Art so that they could have senior release. And changing that to earlier in the day has increased our numbers. In fact, it has doubled this year over the past few years. Senior release definitely hurt our AP program when it was taught later in the day. One positive experience that I've had with senior release this year is I have one AP student that has senior release. Nick comes in every day, 6th and 7th period. Instead of going home, laying on the couch, taking a nap, he comes to art and he works on his AP Art portfolio.
Although senior release is still an option, seniors must consider the long-term effects of having an off period.
That senior year needs to be the launching pad into college and the workforce rather than just a holding pattern for a 4th year high school.
This has been Duncan Marchese, Mallory Hauser, and Hannah Fisher reporting for MHS1.
Hey Reggie Ann, have you heard of Main Gate?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, here's Sydney Turnbow with the story.
Main Gate is a place for children and adults with disabilities to come for therapeutic sports riding. We had no idea when we established Main Gate that this was going to have such far-reaching healing goals for our volunteers as well. We've been really blessed to train 1,500 volunteers. It takes about 300 volunteers every week to support our riders. Many of the volunteers tell me that this is kind of their respite from the world, that they can come and really get away from all the hustle and bustle of their crazy week.
Main Gate has managed to affect all of its volunteers, but how does it help its riders?
I think it's helped my self-confidence and my sense of balance.
So why would someone wish to volunteer at Main Gate?
One of the benefits of working at Main Gate is you get Green Court hours. I think I have over 100 Green Court hours already here. When I come out here every day, mad or sad, like, I'm just gonna try and get through the day. But if you come out here a lot, you're gonna start wanting to stay out here because they just make you happy out here.
To find out how you can get involved, you can go to maingate.org for more information. This has been Sydney Turnbow reporting for MHS1.
Criminal justice students have been selling bracelets for a good cause. Here's Travion, Kim, and Haley with more on the story.
Last year, Jamie Votes was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a cancer of the bone. It's usually found in a long bone, such as the femur, like it was with mine. When the doctors told me I had cancer, it wasn't really a reality for me for a while until I started losing hair because of chemo and getting really sick. I never really felt like I had cancer because it was just my knee hurt. That was really it.
Both teachers and staff were affected by the news.
She came in to tell me. I thought she was joking, and I told her to go sit down, and I didn't want to talk about it. Okay, so the more that I let it settle in, the more I knew that it was real. Got a text from her mom. Her mom and I are really close, so she texted me quite a bit. So it was pretty devastating. Jamie has been a part of my program for the past 3 years, and those of you that know me know that I'm not really an emotional person, but she's kind of like my daughter. So when I found out that she had cancer, I was pretty upset.
Having been such a young person and have gone through what she's gone through and to survive it is an inspiration to me. So I have no complaints. I can't complain about anything after seeing her go through what she's been through. So every day to me in life is just truly a blessing, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for having an opportunity to have met Jamie and have her as part of my life.
Although Jamie had been out for the year, she still managed to be president of the Criminal Justice Club and come back just in time for the state competition.
She's kind of the glue of the Criminal Justice Club. She did everything from her hospital bed, all of the Facebook posts, setting up the calendars, organizing events, getting new members. She did all of that from her hospital bed. So when she came back, I was just glad that she could still compete with the group. She went to regionals, and her team, her felony traffic stop team, in which she's the lead, they won first at regionals and then also went to state and won first at state.
Being back at school, it's kind of hard to get adjusted again after being gone for so long, but I'm really starting to get into the swing of things again.
You can help Jamie in her fundraiser by buying bracelets during all lunches next week.
We started selling these bracelets, and they say for the love of a lion, and Jamie goes to school here, so she's a lion. We're actually selling them so that we can donate the money to Camp I Hope, and Camp I Hope is where parents and families of cancer patients can go and spend time together, because when they're going through chemotherapy and stuff like that, there's not really a lot of time to spend together. So it's actually where they can go and actually spend time, rebuild the whole family mechanism like that. It's pretty cool.
Go out and support it. Get one.
This has been Haley Mercer, Kimberly McKnight, and Travion Miles reporting for MHS1.
Talented students are coming together to create a unique musical group called the Clanks. Here's Noe Garcia and Cole Murray with more.
The Clanks are a four-piece band based in Frisco, Texas. Frontman Adam Nelson attends McKinney High School and is actively pursuing the rock and roll dream.
When I was 5, my mom signed me up for piano lessons, and I played piano until about 5th grade, and then I quit for a while. And then when I actually started listening to music again, I started learning the piano, but I was learning songs I wanted to learn. And then I just kept playing music, and then I met Ethan, and then I joined the Clanks.
Dylan moved down the street from me, and we were neighbors, became good friends. And he started playing drums, I started playing the guitar, and then we started jamming. And then Adam came along. He was a keyboardist at first, but then changed into the bass player. And then we got Brandon, and he also plays guitar.
I am the lead singer, and I also am the bass player. I write all the lyrics, and I write all the melodies, and I write pretty much half of the music. It's either me or Ethan will have a riff, or I'll have some lyrics or something, and then we'll just come to practice and say we want to make that into the song, and kind of just contribute ideas, and then it eventually becomes the music it is.
Unlike most high school musicians, the Clanks are more than just a garage band. They view music as their future careers.
But we just come in and we run our set sometimes, or we'll work on a new song if we have one. Brandon right now has recording things that he's getting going, so he's going to be able to actually record us in practice soon, just to have rough demos.
We track everything individually, start with drums, bass, guitar, and then vocals, and then mix all those down, and then get them where they need to be. And then we do mastering and stuff, putting effects on the tracks and editing, and take out some mistakes, make it sound a little bit better, and then we got a song. Recently, we went to a studio and did an album there. We're about to release 5 more songs.
We just want to keep playing shows and get our music out there. As soon as we get our recordings done and mixed, we're gonna start just sending that everywhere, and hopefully we can just, reach out to everyone through it.
This has been Cole Murray and Noe Garcia reporting for MHS1.
We're the Clanks.
Now, here's Emily Brightman with sports.
Thanks, guys. Tonight at 7:30, the baseball boys play at Plano West. The softball girls fell to the Boyd Broncos. Congratulations to both boys and girls soccer for a successful playoff run. That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Coach Stamen recently published a book about his unique experiences while playing for the Baylor men's basketball team. Drew, Kevin, Ashley, and Connor take us behind the scenes with the new literary work.
MHS's Coach Stamen wrote a book called The Leftovers.
The book is about my senior year at Baylor, 2003 to 2004. My teammate shot and murdered my other teammate, and we still don't know why. There's a couple rumors out there. When that happened, it kind of opened up Pandora's box, and we saw that the coach that I played for 3 years had been doing a lot of things wrong. And not just kind of my program fell apart, it disintegrated, where I lost 10 teammates in the matter of two months, brand new coaching staff. And then, like I said, we went through a lot of adversity that year, playing with only 6 scholarship players, where normal teams like Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, they have 13 scholarship players. So it was kind of a David and Goliath story every time we were on the floor. We were underdogs every game. We weren't supposed to win a game, and we weren't even supposed to come close. But then at some point during the year, we started to become competitive, and we won more games than anybody thought we would.
Writing a book proved to be a longer process than he anticipated.
It took me about 5 years to write the book, and there's about 2 or 3 years that it went really slow. I didn't like the way it sounded. I didn't think I was doing a very good job, and I had some people help me. And actually, about 2 years ago, I wasn't sure if I could complete it because I was still pretty miserable. That year was really hard on me. I'd been really insane about basketball since 4th grade. And when basketball was the problem, I figured out that I really don't have anything left outside of my life to stand on, no foundation. And beliefs that I had growing up kind of went out the window. And I struggled from that when I was 21, all that happened. I struggled really up until when I turned 30. And then just some things happened in my life. But before that moment, I thought, man, I can't write this book and still be struggling, because what that is, that's a story of, good kid, went through something hard, and then 9 years later, I'm still struggling with the same thing. Like, that's not a good story. So I thought I had to quit, but ended up having some great things in my life happen, and now I'm better for all those things happening in the past.
Many people saw value in his book.
Coach Scott Drew, who's the head coach in Waco now, he came my senior year, so I only played for him for 1 year. I approached him about it a few months ago, and he wrote the foreword to the book. Everybody in the country thought that we were a bunch of murderers and thugs, and but he came in and did a great job and brought us hope. And then I've also had Kim Mulkey, who's the head coach of the women's program, endorse it, Tony Romo, and then a couple other big names that they saw value in what we did in the story.
His book is available on Amazon today. This has been Kevin Osborne, Connor Jones, Ashley Brenna, and Drew Umberger reporting for MHS1.
Hey Noe, you cook, right?
Not really.
Well, I know someone who does. Here's Jessup Town with Cooking with Mr. Theme.
Cooking with Mr. Theme, cause he's my best friend. Cooking with Mr. Theme, we're gonna make good food. Cooking with Mr. Theme, to the stars and back. Cooking with Mr. Theme, let's do it.
Well, welcome to the Blarney Stone. Alright, we're going to make some sweet treats for you today. For the ingredients, we're going to go with an M&M's. We need some kisses. Snyder's pretzels. Fantastic. And my personal favorite, the green icing. Other things you might need. You're gonna need some wax paper. Parchment paper is also gonna work in there. And a nice baking sheet. All right, so the basic steps. So we're gonna start with laying down our pretzels in line, all right? And for those of you who don't want it to be in line because you're not as OCD as me, you don't have to. You can just pour it on top, make sure they're even spread out on top, that's fine. We're just having a little fun around here, right? So then you're gonna take your individual kisses. Now these individual kisses have to be unwrapped, right? Because if you put them on there wrapped, it doesn't work in the oven, you get this really gross, mushy thing of a tin ball. So instead, you're gonna unwrap them, you're gonna place one kiss on every single pretzel, and then it's going in the oven. Talk about a hot day at the beach. Woo. All right, so we're taking them out. They're nice and soft. So we had some problems. We're going to go ahead and we're going to work around these problems. So we're going to take another cooking sheet and we're going to take the cooking sheet and Hulk smash. All right, so we take them and we push them down and hook them down. And keep going. Okay, so, but really, people don't eat things because they taste good. They eat them because they look good.
Cooking with Mr. Theme.
Hey Reggie Ann, want to come fishing with me?
No thanks. I think I'll pass.
You'd be missing out. Here's Luke Lauterbach with more on fishing.
From oceans to lakes to creeks and to ponds, fishing has always been an enjoyable hobby and is growing in popularity here in McKinney, Texas.
I like going fishing. It's good weather. It's fun to be outside. I like being outside. You never really know what you're going to catch in the water as well. In Texas, there's a pretty good variety of fish in the water, anything from like small to large. I like going bay fishing. Whenever I'm fishing at like ponds like this, usually you catch bass, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, shad, bluegill, just anything around that variety.
The fishing is just fun because it just gives you something to do and it's just relaxing and just hang, like, you know, just relaxing and stuff, mind stress, get it all off.
Many baits and lures are involved in fishing.
That I use, there's spinner baits and there's a couple variety of these. Usually they have something along the lines of this hanging off them that catches the light and makes a vibration in the water. It makes the bass hungry. And I put a little trailer hook on the end because they usually bite the end of it not knowing what it is. And then the other type of spinnerbait I have is, it has the same trailer hook on it, but it's this, and this does the same vibration in the water whenever it spins. And there's a little bead on it that'll add a little attention. Then there's artificial worms. You can pretty much get these in any color, style, size, and as long as I add this little tail that's kind of spinny like this, it goes in a little loop. That's what the fish like.
Most fishermen have memorable fish stories.
Very end of last year, so freshman year, I was fishing and I caught a bluegill in the lake by my house, and I was reeling in, and there was a bass, a mom bass, that ate the bluegill that I had on the hook to keep it away from the nest that it was hatching. So I pulled a bass out of the water, and the bass opened its mouth, and there was a bluegill on the hook.
Fishing is for professionals as well as beginners.
For a beginner fisherman, just go somewhere local with someone that's more experienced. And I mean, pretty much there's a lot of guys at our school that go fishing, and you can just find one of them. They know what they're doing usually. It doesn't take too much experience to get out here and just have fun. They don't a lot of the time, they start out not knowing what they're doing, but by the end of the day, they'll be catching some pretty good ones.
This has been Luke Lauterbach reporting to you for MHS1.
Well, McKinney High School, here's another MHS1 wake-up call.
Good morning, McKinney High School. I present to you another decadence of character, another MHS1 wake-up call. Wake up, wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up call!
MHS1!
MHS1 wake up call!
Oh man.
First contestant, Senior Arturo Lopez. MHS1! Wake up! Junior Johnny Jeter. Sophomore Grace Tauber. And freshman Bella Wilcox. We took our contestants to a disclosed area to partake in an Easter egg hunt. Only one egg has a prize inside. Losing eggs have a quite unsavory picture inside them. second event, a nice friendly game of tug of war. Next, the spring drawing contest. Best artist takes the event.
On artistic expression.
The way the curves and the lines.
I like it's just
contrast.
like you see the death of an egg, and it's just spewing.
You can look this
translucent. And
I win.
In last place, Grace Tauber. In third place, Arturo Lopez. And second place, Bella Wilcox. And first place, Johnny Jeter.
this has been Noe Garcia
And Aaron Delgado.
reporting for MHS1. And remember, you can be next!
Well, that's all we have for you today.
For more news, visit mainstreamnews.com.
And remember, if it's news,
And it's at McKinney High School.
it's MHS1.